Hello, I'm going to show you now how to use the if function. Now the if function is a way of getting Excel to make a very basic decision for us on a line by line basis. We specify three things. You have something called a logical test, which is kind of like a question. Now that question has to be structured in such a way that it's going to give us a yes or no answer or true or false answer. And then we have what do we want the if function to display if it's a true, and what do we want the if function to display if it's a false. Now before I go into showing you the if, let me show you something that we can do just by typing a formula into an Excel cell. So if I clicked into a cell and pressed equals, click onto this cell here and said I am looking if that cell is greater than 10,000, this is now going to tell me whether that is true or false. So if I now press enter, can you see that says true? Now you can do all of your normal sort of ways around to figure this out. You could do greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. You can also do equals to and also not equals to. So you can use all of those methods for doing this. Now if I drag that down, can you see it tells me whether any of those values are greater than 10,000 as a true or a false. So can you see any that are less than 10,000 in these two cases, that is showing you a false. Now true and false could be quite useful for filtering, etc., or whatever we want to do, but it would be nice if we could get it to display something a little bit different, something more understandable to the user. So perhaps I want to, if the person has earned more than £10,000 in sales, pay a percentage of the sales as a commission, but if they've earned less than £10,000 in sales, perhaps I want to have a meeting to discuss, what they're going to do next time to improve the figures. And this is where if comes in. If gives you the ability of turning the true or false, which we've already done, into one thing or another. So if is a very basic idea. So I'm going to double click into here. To the left of this, I'm going to type in if and then press open bracket. Can you see it comes up saying logical test? That is a logical test. After this, I'm going to click into here, put a comma in, and can you see it puts it onto value if true. Now value if true is the thing that's going to happen if true comes back. Now I'm going to say I want to take the total sales multiplied by 10%, and this is going to form my commission. Can you see value if true is still selected? If I now press a comma, this is going to go to value if false. Now if I want to display the fact that I would like a meeting to discuss the figures, in speech marks I'm going to type meeting just like so. So I open my speech mark and then close my speech mark, and then afterwards I'm going to close my bracket because that forms the false part of the if statement. This is the true and this is the question. Now once I'm ready, if I now press enter, this will now change the answer to give me a figure for 10% of the sales, and if I just drag that down, can you see it will also tell me what any of these are if they need to be a meeting. So it's less than 10,000 in sales. So it's turning a very simple idea of a question that's given me a true or false answer into, rather than just displaying true or false, show me something a little bit more meaningful. So that is how to do an if function within an Excel file.